मानिक सरकार और मानिक साहा।
जय श्री राम।
त्रिपुरा पर बेटर,
त्रिपुरा फिश better. Hello and welcome friends to Elections on My Plate, where we start this big election year here in Agartala as Tripura prepares to go for the polls.
we cannot ask any question.
ये एक अद्भुत सिचुएशन बना के रख।
Your leader यार ममता बनर्जी भी खाना नहीं खाता है बराबर। For 20 rupees you get 2 puris and sabzi. Like much of the Northeast, Tripura's politics too is complex and often turbulent. 5 years ago, the BJP dramatically came to power here, defeating the mighty CPIM, which had ruled the state for decades. Since then, much has changed. The BJP now is the powerful incumbent. The CPIM has tied up with its once arch foe, the Congress. And there is a new tribal alliance that has emerged, which is demanding greater autonomy, if not statehood. All of this points to a fascinating election ahead. What's going to happen? Let's find out. Join me on Elections on My Plate. It's a relatively cool morning. Best way out is chai. थोड़ा चाय करना, गरम चाय, perfect. How is everybody? कैसे हो? Yeah, fine.
How are you?
Very well. What is going to happen in elections? क्या होगा?
इलेक्शन तो अच्छा ही होगा,
अच्छा का मतलब क्या है?
बट इस बार मुझे लग रहा है बीजेपी रिटेन करेगा।
बीजेपी रिटेन करेगा?
रिटेन करेगा।
बीजेपी वर्सेस लेफ्ट फ्रंट, बेटर गवर्नमेंट किसका था? बीजेपी का या लेफ्ट फ्रंट का?
BJP का गवर्नमेंट।
BJP
Now
का
we are
better-
seeing development everywhere.
You are seeing development everywhere.
लास्ट 25 इयर्स क्या हो रहा था, जो मतलब सीपीएम का लोग था, अंडर क्वालिटी लोगों का नौकरी मिलता था, बट अभी लास्ट 5 इयर्स जो क्वालिटी है, जो क्वालिटी आदमी है उसको भी नौकरी मिल रहा है, ठीक है।
बट कई लोग तो ये कह रहा है कि हमको नौकरी नहीं मिला है, बहुत प्रॉमिस किया, ये होगा वो होगा।
एक्चुअली मेन क्या है कि पहले जो है नौकरी मिलने के लिए किसी नेता के पीछे घूमना पड़ता था, अभी वो चीज नहीं है क्योंकि बाईबा का सिस्टम उड़ गया। ये बस रिटर्न दीजिए, नहीं तो नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी। रिटर्न में आप क्वालिफाई हो गए तो आपको नौकरी है। ट्रांसपेरेंसी है इसमें। क्या है कि हमको जो एजुकेटेड लड़के लोग है, जो एजुकेटेड आदमी है, वो क्या है कि नेताओं के पीछे नहीं जाना पड़ता।
Remember, of course, Manik Sarkar was the chief minister of the left front for 20 years. Manik Saha is the chief minister now of the BJP. So Manik Sarkar or Manik Saha?
मानिक शाह
Manik Shah.
मानिक शाह इज बेटर देन मानिक सरकार।
चाय 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 पी के चाय त्रिपुरा वाली। चलो कटिंग चाय, अर्ली मॉर्निंग कटिंग चाय, ग्रेट इंडियन ट्रेडिशन। Best footballer here. He's the local Messi. How are you? How is everybody? ये बताओ क्या होगा इलेक्शन में? बेटर गवर्नमेंट कौन दिया है?
দেখুন আমাদের ত্রিপুরা যারা শান্তিপ্রিয় মানুষ আমাদের এখানে,
शांति।
হ্যাঁ, যারা আমরা মিশ্র জনজাতি, এখানে হিন্দু মুসলমান খ্রিস্টান সবাই আছে,
हाँ।
সবাই মিলিতভাবে শান্তিতে থাকতে চায়।
तो बीजेपी में तुम सवाल नहीं पूछ सकता है, क्वेश्चन नहीं कर सकता है अभी।
नहीं, we cannot ask any question, we cannot put any question in any forum.
And before in left front,
Before let from we
पूछ
feel
सकता था?
yes.
तो ये फर्क है कि
फर्क
अभी
है, फर्क
अभी तुम कोई सवाल नहीं पूछ सकते।
नहीं।
How are you?
फाइन।
Has development happened or not in last 5 years?
5 इयर्स तो डेवलपमेंट तो
बीजेपी
No.
के टाइम पे हुआ है कि नहीं?
नहीं
नहीं हुआ।
नहीं हुआ। अब जाके देखो ना, तो हॉस्पिटल तो दिया था, हॉस्पिटल दिया तो वहाँ पे तो मोरी सही थे, तो डॉक्टर भी सही था, नर्स भी सही था, तो एक डॉक्टर दिया होगा क्या? सब आप ये बताइए ना। एक डॉक्टर से होगा क्या?
तो
5 साल में काम हुआ है कि नहीं?
हाँ, थोड़ा बहुत तो काम हुआ है।
थोड़ा बहुत,
हाँ,
जितना होना चाहिए था
उतना नहीं हुआ, लेकिन अभी काम हो रहा है।
विप्लव देव को तो चीफ मिनिस्टर को तो निकाल दिया गया था लास्ट ईयर। अब मानिक साहा है।
हाँ,
मानिक साहा बेटर या मानिक सरकार बेटर?
मानिक साहब
मानिक साहा बेटर। तो क्या किया मानिक सरकार?
बहुत किया, त्रिपुरा के लिए बहुत किया। आप जितना देखता है ये मानिक सरकार का, ये जो तो इमारत है ना, न्यू बिल्डिंग, सेक्रेट बिल्डिंग, असेंबली बिल्डिंग, जो कि होया, स्टेडियम हुआ, सब मानिक सरकार का तैयारी है।
पर 5 साल पहले तो आपने बीजेपी को वोट,
कुछ नहीं किया।
विप्लव देव कुछ नहीं किया।
नहीं।
और मानिक साहा
मानिक शाह का तो टाइम ही नहीं मिला।
और टाइम अभी आया है। रिमेम्बर मानिक साहा बिकेम द चीफ मिनिस्टर
अभी
इन
आया।
मई ऑफ 2022 रिप्लेसिंग विप्लव देव। हाँ, 6-7 महीना हो गया।
6-7 महीने हुआ।
और व्हाट अबाउट दिस ट्राइबल पार्टी आ रहा है? प्रद्योत देव बर्मन ने एक तिपरा मोटा एक अपनी पार्टी बनाए हैं। वो तो किंग मेकर बन सकता है।
वो राजबारी का बेटा है।
हाँ, वो राजबारी में बैठा है।
ना बेटा नहीं, उसका लड़का महाराजा है।
हाँ,
क्या बेटा है?
वॉकिंग करता है,
ना जॉगिंग करता है,
जॉगिंग करता है।
वॉकिंग करता है, मॉर्निंग वॉक।
मेरे साथ रेस करेगा? चलो, फ्रॉम हियर टू देयर एंड बैक। ओके, रेडी? हाँ, टेक योर गो, कम ऑन, कम ऑन, गो, गो, गो। अरे बाप रे, गो। वेल डन, थैंक यू। नाइस स्मॉल फिश, क्या बोलते हैं इसको? टेंगरू. Down. You cannot come to Agartala and not visit the fish market early in the morning, because legend has it that you get sweeter fish here from across Bangladesh, from the river Padma, than you will even get in Kolkata. Is that true? इधर better fish या कोलकाता में better fish? तुम्हारा better है? तुम्हारा better है?
त्रिपुरा पर बेटर है।
त्रिपुरा fish better? कौन सा फिश है ये? कौन सा है? काटर है ये।
इसको बोलता है, इसको पापदा बोलता है।
पापदा। बीजेपी ने पिछले 5 साल में काम किया है।
काम तो किया है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में बहुत सारा डेवलपमेंट हुआ है। रोड कनेक्टिविटी बहुत ही डेवलप हुआ है पहले से। और देखा जाए तो कुछ कमियां हैं।
क्या कमी है?
कमियां रूरल में कुछ कमियां हैं, तो वो तो टाइम के साथ ठीक होगा।
जॉब्स
भी हुआ है, 5 साल में तो कुछ नहीं होता ना। 25 साल में कुछ नहीं हुआ, 5 साल में कैसे होगा?
ये क्या है? कौन सा फिश है?
इलिश माछ है।
इलिश माछ। पर इलिश माछ कलकत्ता में अच्छा मिलता है या इधर मिलता है?
ना, कोलकाता में ज्यादा दाम है, मानिकतला ज्यादा दाम है।
उधर दाम ज्यादा है।
ज्यादा है।
और ये कहाँ से लाते हो?
ये तो बांग्लादेश का है।
ये बांग्लादेश से इलिश माछ,
है।
क्लासिक इलिश माछ। एंड आई एम गोना हैव इट फॉर लंच टुडे। बीजेपी या लेफ्ट फ्रंट? बीजेपी जिंदाबाद। ये मार्केट पूरा बीजेपी की तरफ है।
हम लोग सब लोग बीजेपी है। सब कुछ मिला है।
क्या मिला है?
हमारा सब कुछ मिला है। फिर और भी और मिलेगा।
This market at the moment seems to be BJP dominated. 25 साल लेफ्ट फ्रंट था, 5 साल बीजेपी। किसने अच्छा काम किया?
और 5 बरस देखना है।
और 5 साल देखना है। चांस और एक और चांस देना है। ओके, दैट्स वन फैक्टर। One more chance left for 25 years. BJP for 5. Should they be given one more chance?
जय श्री राम।
सूखा केला है? हाँ, सूखा केला है, बड़ा वाला नहीं है। चलो एक केला खिला दो यार, आजकल केले का जमाना है। थोड़ा फिटनेस के लिए केला अच्छा होता है। Let me try. Okay, now when you come to a state for the first time, as I have to Tripura, and you want to get an understanding both of local cuisine as well as local politics, then you need the best of local journalists. I'm going to try some of the puri sabzi in a moment. This is going to be my political breakfast to get a sense of what's happening in Tripura. Tel kam karna hai mere liye. Thank you. Here is my local guardians in a way. Rajdeep, Indian Express. Tanmoy Chakraborty from India Today Northeast. Thank you very much for doing this. Pleasure. Looks like this is a place that people often come to, right?
Yeah, it's a very popular eat out here. It's called Shurjo Chomuni's, Puri Tarkari ka dukan, and it's a very popular place. Lots of people throng it on the most of the weekdays, and today is a Saturday, and you can still see that there are a lot of people waiting in the queue.
Hello, let me just go for a moment to check why the puri sabzi is. Arey wah. Kitne ka hai? 20 rupiya ka hai? 20 rupees ka do. Very good, yaar. How cheap. I should start. I think I should move to Agartala. For 20 rupees, you get 2 puris and sabzi. Not bad, huh? Not a bad place to live, Agartala. Okay, we're going to talk politics and food. Devrat, why don't you start? How do you see this election in Tripura? Is it a game-changing election?
BJP's main issue of the last 5 years have been, development and, its implementation of central government policies. A host of this slew of this policy that is implementing here, say drinking water projects, development and infrastructure and all these things. So it's basically going to the election again on development issue.
So BJP is saying compare our 5 years with the left's 25 years.
Exactly. So over these last 25 years of consecutive left rule, the BJP's main allegation was underdevelopment, corruption, hooliganism, all the political violence.
What for you is different about this election to past elections in Tripura? What is so different this time?
The different, I would say, of course, the Tipra Motha. Tipra Motha is a party which emerged in the Tripura's politics as a kingmaker, I would say.
So are you saying that the left's vote has not been hit? It's just that the Congress vote bank shifted en masse to the BJP?
Well, see, all parties' vote base more or less shifted. But certainly, yeah, BJP's swell was mainly due to the Congress shift. But BJP is now claiming that it did have a organic growth in the last 5 years. It is yet to be seen how much it actually happened. Basically, this election is divided on 2 points. I would like to say in BJP's side is development, and opposition's perspective is basically whether people will be able to come out and vote freely or not.
But what is the status? What is the big issue you think? Is it this political violence? Is it this demand for a separate state or greater autonomy for the tribal areas? Is it development as the BJP understands it? Is it that you have an alliance this time between the left and the Congress, which for the longest time were enemies? Is it an unholy alliance just to keep the BJP out?
Well, I think it's a little bit of all of these. You see, Congress and the CPIM and Congress have been the only rival parties in Tripura all this time. BJP never had a real presence actually before 2018. In that major political kind of sense. So yeah, Congress and the communists have been at, loggerheads all this time, and suddenly you see, before the elections, these two parties come together, and Tripura's election in 2023 will be something like nobody's ever seen before. Why I'm saying this is particularly because the nomination submission process was over, scrutiny was over, withdrawal process was over, and even then, neither the ruling side nor the opposition side could actually figure out which party is going with how many seats. And perhaps this is where, Pradyut Kishore's Tipra Motha comes in, because Pradyut Kishore has been basically saying that he wants to change the culture of politics in Tripura. He has been saying Tripura has had a lot of violence. It has been having, hooliganism, political murders and all these things. So he basically says his whole issue has been Thansa, which is unity in the Kokborok dialect. Kokborok is the lingua franca of most of Tripura's 19 tribal communities. And he's also been saying a change of political culture. And the main issue of Pradyut Kishore's Tipra Motha party is Greater Tipra, which is the proposed state for people of Tripura. He says Tipra Sa. In Kokborok, Tipra Sa means tribals, but also means people of Tripura. So basically, Pradyut is trying to garner a support of non-tribals as well here.
Okay, one other interesting point, Mamata Banerjee. There was a lot of talk over the last 10 years. She's going to target Tripura. She's attempted it. Not quite worked, no? Where is Didi?
In the last civic elections in Tripura, Trinamool did a very good result. They came out with 16.39% vote share. But suddenly after that, they focused on Goa. They started focusing on Manipur. And the shift from Tripura maybe lessened a bit.
And Meghalaya, yeah. Yes.
So their focus shifted a little bit, I must say.
You know, wonderful. So politics is undergoing an evolution and so is food. That's why we call the show Elections on My Plate. Thank you very much for giving me a quick understanding of your wonderful state and for your hospitality. And I'm going to hit the road in a moment once I've finished my aloo dom. Too good. For 20 rupees, where will you get this? I'm going to have another one. Now, one of the issues bubbling under the surface here in Tripura, like many other parts of the country, is joblessness. Tripura has one of the highest unemployment rates in the country, which is why, when under a Supreme Court directive, 10,323 government school teachers were retrenched, alleging faulty recruitment process, the BJP government that followed immediately promised them jobs. 5 years later, the teachers haven't got their jobs, and their agitation has become a major talking point in this election season. Let's meet them. कितने सालों से जॉब नहीं है अभी?
अभी करीब करीब 3 साल हो गया. हमारा जो स्कूल एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट है वहाँ से हम लोगों को निकाल दिया गया है. एक अद्भुत सिचुएशन बना के रखा हुआ है. त्रिपुरा छोटा सा स्टेट है कि हमें बिना कोई टर्मिनेशन लेटर दिए हुए हमारा एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट हमको निकाल दिया है, हमको सैलरी नहीं दे रहा है. ये एक अद्भुत सिचुएशन बना के रखा
पर एक सुप्रीम कोर्ट का डायरेक्टिव है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा ना कि आप लोगों को निकालना है, रिक्रूटमेंट गलत है.
यही कॉन्सेप्ट गलत तरीका से सभी लोगों के पास पहुंचा गया है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट कहीं पे भी एक भी शब्द ये नहीं कहा है कि 10,323 टीचर्स को निकालो.
तो बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट ने प्रॉमिस किया था कि आपको इस नौकरी मिलेगा.
डेफिनेटली बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट 2018 का पहले चुनाव के पहले उन लोग का जो विजन डॉक्यूमेंट है, मैनिफेस्टो है, उसपे लिखा था ये जो प्रॉब्लम है हम लोग अगर सत्ता में आएगा हम लोग जरूर ये
सॉल्व करेगा. तो आप उनको मिले कि नहीं?
ये सिर्फ बीजेपी के नेता नहीं बोला, हमारा जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी, अमित शाह जी, तो उस टाइम का जो फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर अरुण जेटली,
वो सब वो बोला था.
बड़ा बड़ा जो इंडिया का टॉप लीडर बीजेपी का, उन्होंने त्रिपुरा के इलेक्शन का बिफोर इलेक्शन उन लोग बोला है अगर ये त्रिपुरावासी बीजेपी को लाएगा हम लोग जरूर 10,323 टीचर को हम लोग रेस्क्यू करेंगे. नहीं देगा, लेकिन अभी 36 महीना हो गया हम लोग का कुछ सैलरी नहीं है. हम लोग नाराबाजी कर रहे हैं 36 महीने से.
You are a presidential award winner for teaching. And you have been removed as part of these 10,323. तो
एक्चुअली हमारे जो नौकरी चले जाने के बाद हमारा जो 150 टीचर्स प्रयात हो गए,
डेथ हो गया. 150 टीचर
और एक मतलब और भी 8
भी किए हैं.
8 से 10 टीचर सुसाइड के रेल के नीचे खुद सुसाइड किया.
तो ये इलेक्शन का इशू बनेगा कि नहीं इस बार?
डेफिनेटली
आप लोग वोट करने जाएंगे?
सुनिए सर, हम लोग गवर्नमेंट चेंज करने के लिए हम लोग नाराबाजी कर रहे हूँ. हर जगह में हम लोग नाराबाजी कर रहे हैं. ये गवर्नमेंट नहीं चाहिए, ये जुमला गवर्नमेंट हम लोग को नहीं चाहिए.
एज अ टीचर, हाउ डू यू फील टुडे?
Very depressed with 2 children, and to run the family is very difficult. And I feel that I have done my work. I have done my best in the school. Okay, I have given my best. I love my students. Students love me. After that, without whose fault, due to whose deeds, we have lost our job. I don't know.
See, lots of professions are there in the society. Everybody can choose any profession. But so far teacher is concerned, teachers are the backbone of the society. Everyone accept this. So once you became a teacher, whenever you are walking in a road, our students call us sir, parents call us sir. So that is the dignity of this teaching profession. Once you lose this dignity, see, you can earn money from any sector, but you can earn the respect from any sector.
Very, very strong words, and I think they will echo very strongly. I thank you all for speaking to me. As you can see, these are the real issues that in a way are bubbling under the surface and perhaps won't even get addressed by yet another high voltage election campaign. Who will speak up and answer what these teachers are asking for? Their jobs back. Come with me. Okay, you heard the angry voices of the agitating teachers. What's the BJP's response? Let's find out. Ravindra, how are you? I just met the teachers. 10,323 teachers claim that they have lost their jobs, and you all had promised in 2018 you will give their jobs back. You have not. They say this is a jumla. How do you respond? Will you? What happened?
देखिए, ये तो सीपीएम का क्या धरा है, उनके कारण ही ये सब हुआ है। और अभी
उन्होंने उनको रिक्रूट, सीपीएम ने रिक्रूट किया था उनको,
रिक्रूट किया था, और जिस तरह से रिक्रूट किया था ये ठीक नहीं था। और कोर्ट ने ये बताया, कोर्ट के कारण ये गया है, और कोर्ट में जो गए हैं, ये विषय लेके जो कोर्ट में गए थे वो उनके साथ है अभी।
अब अगर आपकी सरकार अभी आती है तो बाकियों का क्या होगा?
जिनको राजनीति करना है, पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के होकर जो राजनीति करना है, जिनको राजनीति करना है वो करें, नहीं तो इंटरव्यू देंगे फिर से और नौकरी में जाने की कोशिश करें। बिना इंटरव्यू के कोई भी नौकरी नहीं होगा, वो पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता हो, सीपीएम के कार्यकर्ता हो, कांग्रेस के हो या अपना।
तो ये जिनकी नौकरी गई है उनको आप क्या कहेंगे?
बिना इंटरव्यू के कोई नौकरी नहीं होगा, और आपने बलबूते खुद कुछ करना चाहते हैं तभी सरकार आपको सहायता करेगा। इसी के कारण ये संख्या घट के 6,000 में आ गया।
Among the many X factors in this Tripura polls is the Trinamool Congress. Mamata Banerjee's party did reasonably well in a civic poll in Tripura in 2021, winning a sizable vote share. But Tripura has traditionally been a bridge too far for Didi's party. Can 2023 be any different? Well, let's go and meet the party's campaign in charge, who's promising us not just food for thought, but also for the stomach. It's elections on my plate. Time for some Ilish. Hilsa. Getting hungry. Walking stairs, good for health. Hello, madam. How are you? Is my Tripura lunch promised?
Absolutely, as promised. How are you?
Very well. Good to see you in your den. Sushmita Dev had promised me that when I come to Agartala, she will give me the best Tripura lunch.
Absolutely. But there's Ilish.
There's Ilish.
Yeah. There is mutton made in only green chili. There's a regular dal and our famous aloo bhaja. And this is katila fish, which I wanted you to try.
Okay, let's go. Attack. We call it attack. You attack the food. Come on, I'll serve you. Since
You first, you're my guest.
I'm a guest. Okay, no. Go ahead. That's the rice. That's all? Yeah. अरे तुम लोग politician, you're like your leader यार. ममता बनर्जी भी खाना नहीं खाता है बराबर.
Mamata Didi is a
She hardly eats.
very austere leader.
Austere leader. As I said, lots of food, but a little politics. What's happening with your party? Are you all in the race at all in Tripura or not? Or is it only to get 5% of the vote and thereby strengthen your claims to be a national party?
Well, that's what our critics are trying to sell, that narrative. But I think the counter narrative is, will the left and Congress tie-up actually translate into a vote shift? I mean, you saw what happened in Bengal. There's too much of history there. So, you know.
So you are trying to capture the anti-BJP vote, right? You got about what, 16%? Not bad in the civic polls last year.
Yeah.
So you're looking to be not a vote katwa, but are you a vote katwa?
Not at all. In a democracy, everybody has the right to contest an election and look to increase their vote share. But you know what's important, Rajdeep, in the municipal elections, we couldn't step out. Our own candidates couldn't vote for themselves. So the people who got to the booth, the BJP thought of BJP voters, but they voted for us. That's how we got the 16-17.
You're saying the BJP was not allowing non-BJP voters to come out?
Yes. So whatever they thought, they allowed, thinking this is our voters going out. They are the people who gave us votes in the municipal elections.
Do you really think that we could possibly have a hung assembly. Tripura has never had one in a very long time. I don't recall when. It's usually been either a left sweep or a last time BJP. Do you see it changing this time?
If you look at the past few elections, generally people of Tripura don't divide their votes. But I think in this election, it's an unholy alliance of the left and the Congress. Trinamool is a new option, but I have to admit that in some seats our organization is not very strong. So I think people of Tripura may give us a hung assembly is what I think. This is my assessment. I've spent 1.5 years here. People don't want the BJP. That's for sure.
People don't want the BJP.
No.
Why?
Because they've been disastrous.
Who's your main enemy? BJP?
Absolutely, BJP.
Not the left.
Not the left. BJP is our primary enemy here because they are the incumbent government. We came to the state to fight the BJP and oust them. And we came at a time when Congress was in a state of disarray, you know that. Many things developed after that. Yes, I admit that.
You know, one thing I want to say, politics apart, thank you very much for this wonderful meal. I just love the fish. The meat is nice and spicy. And what more can I ask for? So thank you very much for giving me a flavor
You're always welcome.
of Tripura. That's the advantage of elections on my plate. You can travel this wonderful country and get a sense of the diversity of its food. Even the Ilish in Agartala tastes different to that in Kolkata. Enjoy. Plenty more on the show. Okay, after a good lunch, we've hit the streets again here in Agartala, where we are seeing a sight that has perhaps not been seen in Tripura before. Congress and left flags together. The two parties were arch enemies for decades, accusing each other, amongst other things, of political murders. Now they've come together like they did in Bengal. The CPIM Congress alliance didn't work in Bengal. Can it work here in Tripura? Let's find out. Came together in Bengal also, left and Congress. It did not work. It did not work.
But it is here, it is a very tough thing. Actually, this fascist government should be thrown out from the state. That's why we have...
So you have come here just to remove the BJP?
Yeah.
आप लोग तो एक दूसरे के दुश्मन हुआ करते थे, लेफ्ट और कांग्रेस, अभी साथ में आ गया।
लेफ्ट कांग्रेस देश का हालत ऐसा है जो एक साथ में लड़ाई करना चाहिए।
एक साथ में लड़ाई करना, पर एक समय में तो आप एक दूसरे के लड़ाई करता था त्रिपुरा में।
हो सकता है, लेकिन आज जो देश का हालत है, स्टेट का जो हालत है, इस हालत में अभी बीजेपी को हटाने का लिए जितना भी विरोधी दल है सब एक साथ में आना चाहिए।
आप लोग तो बोलते थे कि लेफ्ट वाला पॉलिटिकल मर्डर करता है, अब उसी लेफ्ट के साथ ज्वाइन कर दिया।
पहले enemy is my friend. हाँ? Enemy is my friend.
The BJP's rise in Tripura has been nothing short of spectacular. The party won just 1.5% of the vote in 2013. By 2018, it had gone up to 44% and it came to power for the first time. But the last 5 years have not been easy for the BJP, as the party has been driven by factional fights at the top that eventually resulted in Chief Minister Biplab Deb having to step down in May last year amid some acrimony. His replacement, a dentist, Dr. Manik Saha, once with the Congress, is now the BJP's face in this election. Can he arrest the anti-incumbency factor? We are here in his home constituency of Town Bodwali in Agartala. You believe that's the contest in this election between democracy versus dictatorship?
There is no contest in Manik Saha's constituency at all. You have the Congress candidate running helter-skelter, trying and sitting in the communist office, but not getting any support either from the communist partners or from his own party. So I think that as far as the Chief Minister's constituency goes, we all know that there is no contest. However, democracy demands that we go to the doorstep of every voter and humbly seek their blessings, irrespective of what a huge wave of support we see for the Chief Minister in his constituency.
Professor Dr. Manik Saha, welcome. Welcome. Sharon Kore Rakben.
Thank you very much for speaking to us, Mr. Chief Minister. How confident are you of winning Tripura this time?
I'm very much confident because of the hard work.
So what's the main issue in this election according to you?
Issue is only development. What the people wanted, we have already given that development by the blessings of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And above all, the law and order situation is very good, and that we have maintained.
So one question will come, that if all was so good, why did you need to change the Chief Minister after 4 years? Biplab Deb was removed and you were brought in less than a year ago before the election. That sends out the message that there was anti-incumbency against your government. That's why the Chief Minister was changed.
That is another issue, in our party, in other the state also you have seen. The same thing had happened. So it is our party policy, and party wants that he should be there or she should be there. So accordingly they make it and they do it. And in that, I think, manner, I have been given that opportunity.
Is the party united?
We are completely united. There is no problem.
When I read all the old articles, Wikipedia, everyone says till 2016 you were with the Congress. Are you saying that you never had anything to do with the Congress?
I was not the member of the Congress.
You attended their meetings?
That I have attended because I was anti-communist. So we needed some platform. And that time the Congress was the very good platform. And people also trusted them. But you have seen they have already deceived the peoples of Tripura. So we ultimately we ought to change our ideology to BJP.
Post 2nd of March, will we see you back as Chief Minister? You are smiling the moment I said that. Are you confident that you will be?
I'm confident.
How many seats are you out of 60?
I always say above 50.
Above 50?
Expectation should be like that.
Jobs is a question. Providing young people jobs. That seems to be a major issue, Mr. Chief Minister.
Just now I have mentioned. But by giving direct employment is very difficult. But we are giving the job opportunity. Different types of job opportunity we are providing.
One final question. You have been a career dentist. How does a dentist become a good politician? By smiling a lot and showing his teeth? Is that the good sign? You have a perfect set of teeth, so you're a good dentist. What is easier, being a dentist or being a politician?
To become a politician is very easier than being a dental surgeon.
Okay, our program is called Elections on My Plate. So if I am in Tripura and I must have one dish, what is the dish you recommend? What should I definitely not eat in Tripura?
Hilsha, you take hilsha.
My mother-in-law actually says that the hilsha that comes to Tripura is sweeter than the one in Bengal. Is it true?
It is true.
Sweeter fish?
Sweeter.
But thank you very much for speaking to us. The Chief Minister of Tripura, Dr. Manik Saha. Good luck, sir. Okay, the BJP may be the incumbent this time here in Tripura, but for the longest time, remember, this was a left citadel. And one person was the face of the CPIM here for 2 decades. One of India's longest serving chief ministers. He's also been arguably one of the poorest chief ministers this country had in terms of his income levels. Let's go and meet the one and only Manik Sarkar. The left, is it left out? Hi, sir. Hi. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm fine. How are you?
Very well, sir. Interesting room.
Yeah.
Marx, Lenin, and Engels. Manikda, good to see you. The grand old or the grand young man of Tripura, Chief Minister for 20 years. But you're not contesting this time. Yes. So is that your decision or is that the party's decision? Honest answer.
Surely, we are always honest. New group of leaders, they should also be groomed. So that's why we shall have to spare space, provide space for them. So keeping all these things in my mind, I thought that this time I should not contest.
I've always been fascinated. You were Chief Minister for 20 years. And then when someone saw your assets in 2018, you had 2,420 rupees in your bank account and I think 1,200 rupees in cash in your wallet. After 20 years of being in politics, you had 2,400 rupees in your bank account. What did your wife say?
She does not say anything against it because I am actually eating in her hotel that is being maintained and controlled by her. So
she was the one running the house.
Exactly.
And you would give all your money, your salary also, I believe, to the party. Your monthly salary went to the party.
That is our practice. According to our constitutional provision, Communist Party members, of course, Communist Party of India Marxist, if they are elected and if they get some money from the government, so that is to be treated as the money of the government and that has to be deposited to the party. Party then decides. Accordingly, what I am getting, I am giving it to party. Like my other comrades are also doing the same thing. Don't think that I am alone is doing.
So the Congress voter went to the BJP to defeat the left in 2018. And today, Manikda, you have tied up with the same Congress.
BJP has forced the people of Tripura to be united to oust them from the seat of power. Why? Fascistic attack is going on. Because
the very words they use against the CPM, they say when you were in power, there was gundagardi, there was a rule, authoritarian rule. They use these very words that you're using today against the BJP, against the left.
I would tell you, at that point of time, after 18 assembly election was over, and counting of votes, there was a gap of about 20 or 25 days. At that point of time, like you today, number of national press representatives, they visited Tripura. After the election was over, they met each and one of the leaders of different political parties, including BJP leader. They asked, are you satisfied? Was there any problem? Every political party leader passed their comment, very peaceful election. We have no complaint. People have exercised their franchise fearlessly, freely. So if that was not happened, how BJP would come to the government?
What will you tell the next generation whose assets only seem to multiply when they enter politics? They have large cars, they live luxurious lives. What will you tell them?
No, I would like to tell them, I cannot advise them, I can request them. First of all, they should love the country like mothers. Loving country means loving the people of our country. And they shall have to work for their better future so that they can actually come out from the problems they have been facing, they are being faced. So to do this, to get it done, they shall have to be very, very honest, truthful, sincere. So they should not confine themselves for their own interest.
Manikda, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. It's pretty inspirational to meet a chief minister whose life hasn't changed even after 20 years in power. Still likes his black tea. We've driven about an hour outside Agartala to enter the tribal parts of Tripura. Remember, around 30% of the state is tribal, 20 of the 60 seats are reserved for tribals, and these seats could prove decisive. Last time the BJP with its partner IPFT had swept this region. Now there is a new force here, led by this man, Rajdeep Sardesai, former Congress chief and a member of the erstwhile royal family, has forged an alliance of the tribals here called the Tipra Motha. What role will he play? Let's find out. A demand for a greater Tipra land, a separate state, or at least greater autonomy. क्या बना रहा है टाइगर? नागालैंड के पास नागालैंड है, तुम्हारे पास त्रिपुरा है.
त्रिपुरा है लेकिन ग्रेटर त्रिपुरा लैंड.
ग्रेटर त्रिपुरा लैंड चाहिए. ये बताओ मोमो कैसे, क्या डाला इसमें? वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग मोमोज. अलग स्टेट तो इंडिया के सेंटर देगा?
देगा, जरूर देगा. मांगने से क्यों नहीं देगा?
आप प्रद्युत को कैसे देखते हैं? प्रद्युत देव बर्मन को कैसे देखते हैं?
महाराजा है, वो हम लोगों के लिए देवता समान है.
Tipra Motha long live! Buagra long live!
Tipra Motha aja sere Buagra ki jo. Ever Tipra che, ever Tipra che, Tipra che, ever Tipra che.
Okay, we've heard a chorus of voices here calling for a greater Tipra land. But what does the leader of this movement, Rajdeep Dev Burman, really want? He's kindly invited us to his royal palace in Agartala. So let's go and find out whether Pradyut wants to play the role of king or kingmaker. Come with me.
No shoes, you're entering the Darbar Khandan palace.
Hi Pradyut. In your den I see, or your palace.
The cave.
This
You
is
can
your
call it the
cave.
cave, yes.
All set for the big fight of Tripura?
Always ready for a good fight and always ready for a challenge.
And even better is that Pradyut is promising me an indigenous
T.I.P.R.A
food, which is the classic tribal food of Tripura. Lots to talk about. Let's go.
Sure.
Wow. This is a pretty special dining room.
Just renovated for you, Rajdeep.
Which side there?
Anywhere.
Okay, great. Okay, Pradyut, let's start with the big question. Are you in this election as kingmaker, to be king, or simply to be a vote cutter? What is the role of the Tipra Motha in this election?
I don't think that in a democracy it's good to use words like king and kingmaker. I think kings are made by God and kingmakers are also appointed by God. I think in this election we are basically trying to prove a point that the indigenous people of Tripura, who are actually the original inhabitants of the land, need their rights to be restored.
So are you calling for a separate state within a state? Are you calling under Article 2 and 3 of the Constitution, do you want a separate state within Tripura?
I have a point of view which has been over the years that we should have a separate state under Article 2 and 3. We are also open to an idea of a solution, a constitutional solution. But that solution has to be given to us in writing so that we can go and show to the people if that is enough or not.
One buzz that Tripura, which has never had a hung assembly, could now for the first time have a hung assembly. And you could play that critical role. But, you know, the food is coming. You want to explain what's what?
Yes, so this is bhangui. This is sticky rice. That's a pita. This is a fish pita. Wak mosdeng is pork salad. Tok mosdeng is the chicken salad. And that is chakhui, which is our own curry.
Bangui. I start with the bangui. Oh, this is jhoom rice. Yeah. And I have it with the
You can have it, pork. Yeah. You can have it, you should have it everything together.
Everything together?
Yeah.
Wow. The politics of Tripura at the moment is on a sticky wicket, which is why Pradyut has decided to give me extra sticky rice. Is this a make or break election for you, or you will continue with this movement as your
This is a make and break movement for all of us, the entire community, because there will be delimitation in 2025-26, and then the real irony will be seen.
But you are a dynast in a way, yes, and the Congress party has often been accused of being a party of dynasts. You were close to the Gandhis, and one of the reasons why the Gandhis are seen to have lost out in the Modi era is they are perceived as dynasts. The Namdar versus Kamdar. So are you a Kamdar or a Namdar?
मैं काजनीति करता हूँ, मैं राजनीति नहीं करता हूँ.
काजनीति करते हो?
So if you see that whatever I've done, I probably was a politician till I decided to start my party, and now we are heading a movement. Much like you keep on saying after every elections that you will quit. I also don't want to continue in politics for the rest of my life. I would rather do things which are my passion, like music, sports, cooking, gardening. I'm very fond of animals, traveling, get married. And the fact is that these are the things which I would rather do. But this is a commitment that I've given to my people and my community. And till the time I don't take it to a logical conclusion, I cannot desert them. That's why I have not compromised till now. And I don't intend to dilute the people's aspirations. I'm being very honest about that. I have better things to do in life, but this is my commitment which I had given to my people, and also I owe it to my ancestors in a certain way.
One final time I'm going to ask you, if on this very dinner table we have Amit Shah and Hemanta Biswa sitting with you one day, and the next day Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, whom you know well, also sitting on the same table, whom will you say, I'm coming along with you if Tripura throws up a hung assembly?
First of all, I'll have to change the course because everything is non-vegetarian here. So if it's Amit Shah and Narendra Bhai Modi, probably it has to be a different cuisine altogether.
Sure.
The fact is that deals or negotiations are never done over a dining table. It is done in the public knowledge. And all I want is transparency in a negotiation with anyone, whether it is the Congress, the Communists, Yechuri Sahab, or the government of India.
Because I was told that Amit Shah met you late night, you've been wooed by other parties, everyone is saying, Pradyut, join us, and you chose eventually to go on your own.
No, I chose my people.
You chose your people over the political parties who are wooing you. You know, Pradyut, you're sounding there like a politician philosopher, which is not a bad thing to be.
Not a bad thing at all.
Not a bad thing at all. And I just want to thank you. This is my first trip to Tripura, and then to get a sample of the wonderful indigenous food of the people of Tripura makes it very special. So thank you. Will this be the first time that Tripura could actually, as some political observers believe, throw up a hung assembly? And if they do, what role really will my dinner companion play? Will he stick to his promise that he's made here, that he's not going to cut a deal?
We'll stick like the sticky rice.
You'll stick like the sticky rice. Lovely note on which to end. Elections on my plate. From the entire team, Vivek, Amit, Alok, thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Bye for now.